In the contested waters of the Indo-Pacific, a powerful narrative was being written on the ocean's surface. China was showcasing its newest and most advanced aircraft carrier, the Fujian. This wasn't just another ship joining the fleet. It was a statement of intent, a symbol of a nation's soaring technological and military aspirations, designed to capture the world's attention. During highly publicized sea trials, the Fujian conducted its first flight operations. The key focus was its advanced electromagnetic catapult system, a technology previously mastered only by the United States. This system allows for launching heavier, more capable aircraft, faster, and with less stress on the airframes. It was a clear demonstration of growing naval might, broadcast for all to see. The message, projected from the deck of this 80,000-ton behemoth, was one of undeniable strength and ambition. China was signaling its capability to project power far beyond its shores, challenging the long-standing naval order in the region. But as this display of surface power unfolded, another power answered with a very different kind of signal. It was quieter, less visible, but in the world of naval strategy, profoundly more significant. The USS Ohio, a guided missile submarine, surfaced in Subic Bay, Philippines. The timing and location were no accident. This was a calculated act of strategic communication. One of America's most powerful and secretive assets, a vessel designed to operate in absolute stealth for months on end, deliberately chose to be seen. The appearance sent a clear reminder to regional observers. What happens on the surface is only half the story. While China rapidly builds a modern surface fleet, aiming to contest American naval dominance, the U.S. continues to lean on its less visible, but arguably more decisive advantages. For analysts and strategists, this juxtaposition provided a real-world snapshot of the tense competition defining the Indo-Pacific. The Ohio's surfacing was designed to counter China's narrative of approaching parity, underscoring the silent, overwhelming power that lurks just beneath the waves, ready to change the strategic balance at a moment's notice. The USS Ohio is a formidable weapon of war, a true titan of the deep. At 560 feet long and displacing over 18,000 tons submerged, it is one of the largest submarines ever built for the U.S. Navy. But its sheer size is only the beginning of its story. Commissioned in 1981, the USS Ohio was the lead boat of her class, originally designed as a ballistic missile submarine, or SSBN. During the height of the Cold War, she was a keystone of America's nuclear deterrent, a silent guardian armed with 24 Trident nuclear missiles. Her mission was simple in concept, yet staggering in consequence: to patrol the world's oceans, undetected for months at a time, ready to deliver a devastating response to a nuclear attack. But as the geopolitical landscape shifted, so too did the Ohio's purpose. Between 2002 and 2006, the Ohio and 3 of her sister ships underwent an extraordinary transformation. Driven by new strategic needs and arms control treaties, they were converted from nuclear-armed deterrent platforms into guided missile submarines, or SSGNs. This was a masterstroke of naval engineering. 22 of the 24 large Trident missile tubes were reconfigured to house multiple all-up round canisters. Each of these reconfigured tubes can carry up to 7 Tomahawk land attack cruise missiles. This gives the Ohio a staggering total capacity of up to 154 Tomahawks. These are precision-guided weapons with a range of roughly 1,000 miles, capable of flying complex routes to their targets. The modern Block VI variants can even strike moving ships at sea. This allows for pinpoint strikes against high-value targets ashore or afloat, all launched from a single submerged platform. In effect, a single SSGN can unleash the conventional firepower of an entire surface battle group, but with one critical advantage: it remains hidden beneath the waves. But the Ohio's transformation didn't stop with missiles. The 2 forward-most missile tubes were converted into lockout chambers for special operations forces. These allow the submarine to covertly insert or recover up to 66 operators and their equipment, such as Navy SEALs. This capability turns the Ohio into a clandestine forward base for reconnaissance, intelligence gathering, and direct action missions deep behind enemy lines. Its SHG nuclear reactor grants it virtually unlimited endurance, able to remain submerged and on station for months. Its only limits are the food it can carry and the endurance of its crew. Because of this stealth and power, when the Ohio does surface, it's a deliberate act. It chooses to be seen, sending a powerful strategic message of presence and capability to allies and adversaries alike. In contrast to the Ohio's silence, the Fujian is a public symbol of ambition, centerpiece of Beijing's Blue Water Navy effort. Massive, comparable to US supercarriers. What sets it apart is EMALS. Unlike ski-jump predecessors like Liaoning and Shandong, Fujian's EMALS launches heavier, better-armed aircraft. More range, more payload, more effect. China broadcast dramatic test footage to celebrate. A J-35 stealth fighter roared off the deck. A KJ-600 early warning aircraft followed. Together, a modern air wing in theory. Location mattered, Subic Bay, roughly 500 miles from Fujian's trials, next door for a nuke boat, within striking distance, able to shadow unseen. As Beijing celebrated, Ohio upended the narrative, a counterpoint to a show of force. Surfacing was a choice, not a weakness. It highlighted surface vulnerability to stealth. Despite ASW investments, a US sub operated freely. In the silent, crushing depths of the ocean, the most profound truths of modern naval power unfold, far from any camera's gaze. This is the domain of the submarine, a realm where stealth is the ultimate currency, and a single unseen vessel can hold an entire fleet at risk. Aircraft carriers are the quintessential symbols of a nation's might, projecting power across continents. But their very visibility makes them colossal targets. Magnets for any adversary seeking to land a decisive blow. In this high-stakes environment, a single well-aimed torpedo or a perfectly timed missile volley can be strategically decisive, capable of neutralizing a multi-billion-dollar asset and shifting the balance of power in an instant. This is where submarines weaponize opacity and surprise. They are the apex predators of the deep, leveraging the ocean's vastness to remain undetected. A converted Ohio-class submarine, lurking for weeks on end, can wait, watch, and retain the option to strike first with overwhelming force. Its Tomahawk cruise missiles can be well on their way to multiple targets before an enemy's air defenses even have time to react. The mere possibility of a submarine's presence forces a carrier group to devote vast resources to anti-submarine warfare, or ASW. China has invested heavily in this area, deploying specialized aircraft like the Y-8Q and equipping its destroyers with advanced sonar. This constant hunt burns immense amounts of fuel, strains crews to their limits, and fundamentally restricts a carrier's offensive operations. Every hour spent searching is an hour not spent projecting power. Psychologically, that unseen presence lingers, creating a persistent, attritional drag on an entire naval force. And if the aging Ohio class can exert this much pressure, what about the newer, quieter, and more advanced Virginia-class boats, especially the upcoming Block 5 variants with their added missile capacity? But this strategic chess match isn't just a bilateral contest between the US and China. A complex web of alliances shapes the entire board. The Ohio's public visit to Subic Bay wasn't just a port call, it was a powerful signal, reinforcing the enduring US-Philippines alliance at a critical time. This kind of forward access, guaranteed by allies, fundamentally complicates China's military planning, denying them the comfort of a predictable, contained battle space. In Tokyo, Seoul, and Canberra, capitals of key treaty allies, that signal was read with absolute clarity. America is present and committed. This American presence underwrites the freedom of navigation and regional stability that are the lifeblood of the global economy. In no scenario is this clearer than a potential crisis over Taiwan. Any attempt to blockade or invade the island would be an incredibly perilous undertaking for Beijing. Allied submarines, positioned to interdict forces crossing the strait, could devastate an amphibious invasion force before it ever reached the shore. Trillions of dollars in global trade transit these waters annually. Any disruption, let alone a full-scale conflict, would be economically catastrophic for the entire world, including China itself. China's strides in building a world-class surface navy are real and impressive. But the undersea balance of power, where conflicts are often decided, endures. The U.S. submarine fleet, backed by decades of operational experience, continuous modernization, and a robust network of alliances, maintains a crucial advantage. It is a silent guardian, shaping events from the shadows and upholding the global order.